Namaste, my sisters. I am recording this little video here for you because I wish someone would have done something like that for me when I was first starting out with creating a profitable healing business. So today we're talking about the two biggest mistakes that you can make as a healer that lead to stress instead of success, and the two things that you really need for a great income and a great impact. So I want to make this really concise and honor your time, but be super powerful. So take these few minutes and really listen up. Now, the first big mistake that I see healers making all the time is that they offer one-off single, so to say, single healing sessions to their clients, right? Like, this is my name and this is my modality, and here you can book a session with me and it's $80 or something like that, right? So maybe that's what you're doing currently. Or what I also see healers doing a lot is creating do-it-yourself courses for their audience. Okay, so this is the biggest mistake, like number one biggest mistake that you can make. This is the way you're going to be out of business again really, really soon, because you're not going to make any money. Okay, and you're not going to have a great impact either. You might even work yourself into burnout. So if you sell single healing sessions, what's going to happen is either nobody's going to buy, because what people are really interested in is a solid solution to their problem, a tangible outcome, which can never be achieved when there is no commitment from either side for more than a single session, right? Or what can also happen is you have some success with these sessions, but it's super exhausting because you still have to run after every client to make enough money. And let's imagine that your dream comes true and you make like 5,000 euros, dollars, pounds, whatever your currency is, by selling these single sessions. Well, can you imagine what it would be like to hold 50 sessions every month to get to 5K? That's pretty darn exhausting. And I was doing that at some point, and let me tell you, it was not fun, because you go out as a healer, you have this big heart, you want to help people, but you also need time. You need time for yourself, you need time to recharge, right? You might have a family that would suffer under, this kind of setup. So you need to serve from a full cup as a healer. That's not going to work if you do single sessions like that. And creating a do-it-yourself course is probably an even worse idea, because there's a very likely chance that nobody's going to take that course. Why is that? Because you don't have a big following at this point, right? So you don't have enough people to actually go through that course. The only way to make money from a do-it-yourself course that you offer to your clients is if you have a big budget for Facebook ads and a lot of expertise, because running Facebook ads is a big enterprise. You need a lot of different things to go into that, right? You need testimonials, you need the ad copies, the ad creatives, you need the ad setup, and of course you need the ad spend, you need the landing pages, the sales pages, etc. So it's a big thing. And this is just not going to work. Either you have a big audience or you have Facebook ads. Like, even when you have a great audience like I have, I don't make that much money from my do-it-yourself courses, right? Because that's not the point of them. I don't create them to make an income from them. I create them to help clients with what is not the best use of my time to help them with. So say I work with someone one-on-one, or I work with someone in a group capacity, and I realize, okay, they have this and that specific problem, but it's too much to go into in the work that we're doing together. Then I can just give them access to this course that I have for free, or I sell it to them as an add-on to what they're already doing, right? So do-it-yourself courses, if you want to create a great income from that, from the course alone, not use it as an add-on, then you need to either run Facebook ads or have a really big audience that's constantly growing, okay? So don't do that when you're just starting out in your business. So this is the single most biggest mistake. And the second one is, well, actually just as big. I see a lot of healers that are starting out, that are new. They might even be very experienced healers, but they've never really learned how to market themselves online. And what they do is they follow freebie advice or they invest in the wrong support. So when you first start out and you're trying to create a successful healing business online, you don't know what you don't know. Okay, there's so many different ways to do it, and a lot of those are really not suitable to healers. They will either take away all your money or take away all of your nerves, all your time, all your energy, and just not work out for you. And it's simple. You haven't been there yet, so you don't know what it takes, right? And most of us either think that it's easy, right? Like I did in the beginning. I thought I didn't need a coach. And so I collected a lot of advice from freebies and from some cheap business coaches. But of course, what I got was cheap advice, right? And then I tried to piece all these different puzzles of what I had learned together. And it was just a mess, it was just a mess. And I really wanted to serve people. I had this burning in my heart to help people. And it was really disheartening to not be able to do so because I was following the wrong advice. And, then in the end, I invested in business coaching and with all the wrong people because, you can't really create a successful healing business when you learn from a coach who isn't a healer themselves. Okay, I'm going to go into why that is in a moment. And I just want you to be really real about what I'm telling you here is the fact. I'm not making this up. There is a lot of statistics and research that shows that only 2% of all businesses that have been created stay in business for more than 2 years, right? And only 1% of those businesses ever makes it to 6 figures and beyond, like mine has. So getting help in the beginning or once you feel like you're struggling, is really, really important. You really need support. So what most people do though, they realize they need help, but then they end up investing in the wrong support. So first of all, you cannot learn what you need to learn here from a do-it-yourself course. So forget about investing in a low-cost course that you go through by yourself. That's another way to self-sabotage, right? You think, oh, I can learn all of this from here and it's so cheap, and you cannot do it yourself. You need someone to be there to sit in front of you and to look at you, who you are as a whole person, body, mind, heart, and soul, understand where you come from, what your story is, and then help you see clearly what of your expertise, what of your story, what of your genius goes into this business, what is just a hobby, what wounds you can now transform into superpowers that you can help others with, what you have still to work on, where there might be soul level wounds that you need to work on before your energy is right to make any money from a business, etc. So there's so much going on with you, right? You need someone who is willing to take the time and take a look at that. And I have invested in business coaching that was 30K, and still I didn't get that courtesy of someone actually looking at all of me, right? This is something really rare that I'm offering that is absolutely priceless, and I'm really proud that I'm doing this. And at the moment, I'm doing it a really small group coaching program where you get basically all the goodness that you would get from a one-on-one with me at a much lower investment. So this is a really cool chance. So mostly when you first start out in business, you just don't have the money to afford the real deal one-on-one coaching, right? That will actually get you the results. Like my own 3 months program is at 9K at the moment, and that's still really moderate for the norm in the industry at the expert level that I'm at. So most of us, what you do is, well, what I did also is we turn to group programs, but I can really tell you that you won't get the results that you want from most of them because I've been there, I've done that. So I invested over 70K over the years in the wrong support, okay? Far too many coaching programs lack a dedication to client success, okay? Far too many companies are focused on getting new clients in the door. They're big companies, right? And sales is their main thing that they do in their business, right? And sales are a really important part of having a business. Obviously, this is what I'm going to teach you in Business and Bliss as well, but it's not all of it, right? You want to deliver an outstanding service to your clients, and trust me, not many coaches have that dedication. So yeah, there's of course the other problem that those programs aren't created for healers, okay? So here's the 2 things that you actually need for fast and successful success as a healer. First of all, you need to create a soul offering for your soul clients and learn a soulful sales strategy. So instead of those one-off single healing sessions, you create an offering that where you spend time with a client for 3 or more months, and you're both committed your time and energy to a specific result that the client is going to get with your help. That's what people invest in. They want tangible solutions, right? And you also have to learn a soulful sales strategy. You know, those salesy tactics that you might learn from another business coaching program, they're not going to work for you as a healer, okay? You need to serve, right? You know that already in your heart and in your soul. So you need to learn also how to connect heart to heart and soul to soul with your clients. It's actually not that difficult, but you need to learn how to do it right, step by step. And the second thing that you actually need for fast but soulful success as a healer is the right support, okay? It will take you years to do this successfully on your own, and the trial and error will cost you so much money and nerves and tears as well. I still have spouts of fatigue sometimes from all of those years when I was a single mom and trying to do it by myself. It was not fun. I don't wish that time on anyone. I suffered from it. My son suffered from it. It was really not great. And I could have, gotten this amazing me out into the world much sooner if I had had the right support. Okay, so what you really need is spiritual business coaching created for healers, right? I really worked with the best of the best coaches in the industry, but I couldn't implement almost nothing that I was taught I could implement exactly as presented to create a successful healing business, because you simply can't use those strategies as a healer. As healers, we have special needs. Our clients have special needs, and business coaching really needs to address all of that. Okay, so the process needs to be holistic. Our own wounds and traumas need to be seen, healed, and also partly integrated into our work. Part of our pain is now, our superpower that we can help others with. And part of it is where we self-sabotage. So you need someone who can distinguish the two. And you also need to learn how to create those heart-to-heart connections instead of those salesy tactics, right? So you can find the right people, talk to the right people, make them really happy by offering your soulful services to them. You also need the right combination of energy and strategy, right? So you don't end up glued to the computer all day long, because, as sensitive women, that's simply not going to work for us. We can't be present on 5 different social media platforms efficiently. We can't follow all the newest trends, invest in all the newest programs and tools, It's just not possible when you're sensitive, You need your energy for the work that you do, right? As a healer, So this combination of being a healer and a businesswoman can be really tricky when you don't learn it the right way. And you need to learn how to protect your own energy when you're working with clients, because it's very different from what most coaches do, right? You need to learn how to boost your own confidence, feel worthy and deserving of the sacred calling and the money that comes with it. I see so many women who just don't feel good enough, and they self-sabotage from start to finish and end up feeling like they just can't do it, but they just don't have the right support. So you need real, soulful, heartfelt guidance, someone who actually cares, not just about the money, but about you succeeding, and especially about what we can do together as heartfelt, soulful, wealthy women on this planet. Imagine like a lot of money in our hands, in our healing hands. It's gonna lead to so much more peace and prosperity for everybody, right? So I consider all of this and more in Business and Bliss, which is really a completely custom tailored experience that where you can collapse decades into months, right? All while feeling really pampered. It's going to be intensive for sure, but it's also going to be fun. And you're really going to learn everything you need without the fluff. There is no frills with what I'm doing. I'm going to teach you really what you need to know. I'm an absolute minimalist, and that's why I have energy to be a great mom, to have 4 pets, to have a great relationship, to have a life full with really cool hobbies, to do lots of weekend trips, and still be a great healer and businesswoman, right? So Business and Bliss is my program. We're going to start on May 1st, so just a week from now. And it's going to be exactly what you need to increase your impact and income as a healer, whether you're starting from 0 or you want to scale. You need this, right? If you're just starting out, great, you're going to learn all the basics. But if your business is floundering, if you just have some clients, you can't get that monthly income that you really want, then this is also going to help you, because whatever you're doing, there's something that's missing. So we're going to fill in the blanks. Okay. I'm really covering all of the spiritual and practical aspects that you need in place. And you're going to learn what I paid over 100,000 euros to learn for a fraction of that cost, and also a fraction of the cost of my one-on-one. So it's a really, really unique chance that you have here. This will definitely not happen again this year. Actually, the last time I did this was 2019. So this chance only comes around every few years, because to be honest, this isn't about the money for me. I make a lot less with this than I would if I would just pursue selling one-on-one, right? I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you, right? Because I want to see you shine. So let's chat to see if this is right for you. Okay, there's not a lot of time left to enroll, so let's just hop on a chat. There's nothing to lose. This is a zero pressure conversation. We're just going to talk about where you're at, where you want to get to. We're going to determine the steps of the journey and find out whether or not this is the right program for you to walk that journey, to complete that journey and create your soulful, successful healing business. One way or another, what I know is that you're going to need support. So let's connect. I have the chat to get into my calendar in the description for you. And I can't wait to connect with you one-on-one. And in the meantime, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Bye for now. Namaste.